Hello, my name is Joshua Tomsick, and I'm with the Alaris Group IT department, and today what we are going to be covering is some basic information about your Mac-based operating system. Now, the operating system that I'm going to be showing you is the OS X 10.8.4, or essentially Mountain Lion. Now, the Mac operating system is definitely different than your typical Windows-based PC operating system in the sense that everything now is application-based compared to the executable file base of a Windows operating system. What I'm going to be doing today is kind of just giving you a quick tour of the ins and outs of the Mac-based operating system and kind of giving you a guide into, if you ever get lost, the ability to kind of scroll through this video and pick out some key points so that way you can remember a little easier. Okay, so what I like to do is I like to start off by going at the top, working my way left, and then going down to the bottom and working my way left to right. Okay, so the first thing that we like to look at here is at the top right, you have your newsfeed. Your newsfeed you can open up and it will give you all the information of your connected accounts on your Mac-based mail system, Facebook, whatever you have, Twitter, whatever you have connected to your operating system, it's going to bring up information for that. You can click that to minimize it. Now, we have the spotlight, or the magnifying glass here, and what that's going to be able to do is that's going to help you, just as you can read below, find things quickly on your machine. It's just like your Finder on a Windows-based PC. To the left of that, I have my name, which is my username that I'm currently logged into. To the left of that, I have my time. You can view it as analog or digital. You can adjust your date and time preference, but I have mine set automatically to configure when connected to the Internet, so that way my time zone changes automatically with my Internet connection. I have my battery here on the left-hand side. I'm plugged in, running at 100% power. If you click on that, you can show percentage, and it is going to give you the percentage of battery life that you have. When you open your machine up, it does not have that right away. So I really think that is a really good tool. So I would make sure and definitely show percentage. To the left of that is your volume, which you can also control with your F10, F11, and F12 keys. And to the left of that is your wireless signal. And that is going to give you the ability to connect to any wireless network around you that you have access to. To the left of that is my Bluetooth. I have mine turned off at the moment because I like to have it always off. I turn it on only when I need it, so that way I can conserve battery when I am on battery power. My time machine, I have a couple other programs running here that we don't have to get into. Now, going to the left-hand side of the top portion of your screen, we're going to check out the Apple menu here at the top. So we're going to click on this Apple menu. Now this Apple menu is kind of like your start bar, not really, but kind of gives you just some basic functions for your machine. What we are going to look at here, you can check out about this Mac and look exactly what you're running and the most up-to-date software. You can click this button and it's going to make sure that you are completely up-to-date. This will also give you some software updates. You can go into your App Store, your system preferences, which is also located down here on your dock, and you can actually change your dock down on the bottom to different customization preferences that you have. Actually, my dock is stock. I have not changed any of my preferences, and so it's just the way I prefer it. You can go to your recent items, force quit, which we'll get into here in a minute, sleep, restart, shut down. Those are essentially where I get a lot of questions. Well, how do I turn the machine off? Or how do I restart it? Or whatever else. It's all right here under your Apple button, or log out. Okay, so now we're going to get into the right side of your top of your screen. Now what we are in right now is essentially your desktop or your Finder, and you will know that because whatever program or application that you are in at that particular time is going to show up in the top left-hand corner. So right now it just says Finder, but if I were to open up Safari, it's going to bring up Safari to the right of the Apple button. Now, what that means to you is that if I have Safari selected here, it's going to show me that. But if I don't have it selected, it's going to show me Finder. So if you are confused of what window that you have open or currently running, you can always look at the top left and see where exactly you're navigating at that particular time. Now, once you're in Safari or whatever application you prefer, you are able to have options available to that application. So in Safari, it adds history and bookmarks. And so I'm able to check my bookmarks, my history, so on and so forth. All of my options that are normally at the top of the window itself are now always going to reside at the top left-hand corner of your screen. So if I wanted to quit or do anything with it, I am going to do any number of options here at the top. So now, what the rest of this, I'm going to kind of go into the application-based platform here for a second. And the reasoning for that is because it is so much different than a Windows operating system on how you move around and navigate through your applications. As you can see here, we have 3 buttons at the top left-hand corner, your red X, your yellow minimize, and your green plus. Now, the red X, we are in an application. We are in a session in our application. And so if I close this red X, as you can see here at the top, my Safari stays, because essentially what we did was we just closed a session of that application. We did not close the application out itself, just the session. And so once I open this back up, my Safari, it's going to reopen a new session. Now, if you want to completely close out of your application, what you will want to do is you will want to go up to the Safari or whatever application that you are in and go to Quit Safari. Now, you will see that I am just at Finder. Now, any Mac-based programs or applications that are system applications, you can simply hit the red X and it will close out. But anything that third-party applications or like your Safari, stuff of that nature, you're going to have to physically close out of by going up to the top and going quit. Now, if you look at this, we have some options available to us, as in shortcuts. We have shortcuts available to us. So if I wanted to quit Safari, this little 4-circled icon is essentially your command key down there at the bottom. So if I hold Command and Q, it's going to do the same thing as if I were to go up to Safari and select Quit. So now that is the difference between a session and an application. Now you can tell because we are back on our Finder and we have only the Finder options available to us. So that is just once again the difference between an application running and a session. Application up here, this is my session. I want to close out of my session, and then I want to end or close out of my actual application. Now kind of moving down towards the bottom, your Finder window is one of your key icons down here on the bottom of your screen, and you can click on that, and it's going to bring up essentially your system files. Now, on your left-hand side is how you're going to navigate it. You can see applications. This folder is important to you because this is where all of the applications that you install are going to be housed. And so if you would like to delete one of those applications, you can simply just drag and drop it into the trash bin. And then once you empty out your trash bin, that application is completely uninstalled. Your desktop is going to show you anything that you have on your desktop. Your documents here is going to be just like your documents that you've always had on a Windows-based environment. It's going to, you're going to be able to put things in your documents, take things out, etc. Downloads, just the same as in a Windows-based environment. It's going to give you everything, a list of everything that you have downloaded through either Safari or whatever browser that you're using. Movies, you're going to be able to go in here and look at whatever movies that you have put on your machine, music, pictures, etc. And so this is a system utility here, and so I'm just going to hit the red X, and it's going to be gone. Now here is your Launchpad. Launchpad, if you have a application-based phone, it's going to act just like if you have a phone or an iPad or a tablet. You're going to be able to select every program or every application that you have installed on your machine through this by scrolling left or right or going into these folders that you have created. To get out of it, you just simply click the space to get out. We're going to skip mission control at this particular point because we're just going over some basic setup. Mail, you can configure this to any personal mail account. Here at Alaris, we are not able to set it up with our Exchange, but any personal mail that you wish to set up is perfectly fine. Calendar, just a calendar of events. Right now I have Full Deck Solitaire on my dock. This is a great example of showing you how to customize your dock. If you want to customize your dock, add or remove, I showed you how to add a little bit earlier through your applications by just going to your applications, clicking it, and dragging it down to your dock, and it's going to add it. Now, if you want to get rid of it, you just simply click it and move it upwards until you see a little puff of smoke or cloud or whatever it is. And then once you lift it up to the top, it's going to disappear. Now, once you lift it up and you see that and let go, you simply just deleted it, the icon, off your dock. You did not delete the application. To do that, you'd have to empty your trash out. And so I really prefer to really customize this myself, and I really advise you to customize it yourself. This is your machine, and so whatever applications that you feel that are needed to use at a moment's notice, I really think that you should put them down here on your dock. I really like to use Notes. I really like to use TeamViewer, and so on and so forth. Now, you can go to your system preferences down on the bottom, or I usually remove it from our user's operating system, but to also access your system preferences, you can go into it here from the Apple window. Now, if you have, let's open up Safari here. Now, if you have an application open and you close the session and then click on your desktop, you're not going to know that you have an application essentially running in the background. And so to figure that out or to get to that application, you are going to be able to go to your Apple menu here at the top left and go to Force Quit. Now you're going to be able to see whatever you have running in the background that is going to be taking up essentially memory or efficiency from your machine. So I can force quit out of Safari, and it is going to get out of that program, and it is going to be done. Essentially, it's your Control-Alt-Delete or your Task Manager on a Windows-based PC. Your App Store here is a way to download any free or paid software. But really where I'm going with this App Store is that if you see a red number above it, as you can see, I do not have a red number because I really like to keep my machine up to date, because the more up to date your machine is, I think the faster it's going to run. And so if you click on Updates here, you're going to be able to see whatever updates that you have available to you, and then you're going to be able to download them from there. But please make sure and do your updates from the App Store. I really think that they are a great tool to make your computer run as efficiently as possible. Now, going into your system preferences, sorry I got a little bit ahead a little previously, but in your system preferences, you can open that up, and this is where you're going to be able to adjust some things inside your machine, some components inside your machine itself. I'm not going to get into this at this particular point. I'm just really showing you the navigation of the operating system itself. Now, the other thing that I wanted to quick show you before I end this video is the difference between a single click and a two-finger click on your trackpad of your Mac PC or your Mac computer. A single click is going to give you a regular left click just as it always has done before. Now, to right click in a Windows-based environment, you have essentially a button on your trackpad, or on your mouse you have another button on the right-hand side that you usually press down. On the trackpad on the Mac, you use your two fingers at one time. So I'm going to take my two fingers and I'm going to press them down together, and it is going to essentially give me the options that I have for this